Hello, everyone, and welcome to Anime FMK. I'm your host, Ben HBI Duque Creighton. With me are my two beautiful co-hosts. We've got Scott Kaiserneko Frerix.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
We've got Kieran Lord Moonstone. Not really. Don't fucking call him that.
Call me Kieran.
Yep. Summerlade.
I can't remember the last time you were Lord Moonstone.
I don't know.
Yeah, you've become an
Tone.
Earl long since. We're gonna be here. We're gonna be talking about
Anime!
11 anime to be exact.
Animes?
Anime.
Anime.
Anime or may not. There is no try.
So, funny enough, it was going to be 10.
Yep.
But there was a show that I thought was a sequel. It technically is.
Yeah, it wasn't on the poll. So we had a poll to find the 10 that y'all wanted to hear us. You wanted to make us watch, hear us talk about. Scott, why should people care about your opinion about anime?
Because I've watched a lot of anime.
Okay, Kieran, why should people care about your opinion about anime?
I was born in the weeb, molded by it. I've always been watching anime since I was.
You hadn't
remember.
You hadn't seen Animaniacs till you were a man.
You should not care what I think about anime, but people keep asking me anyway, so I'm going to tell you.
The reason that, you know what, I'm going to say it like flat out. The reason that I wanted you to be on this in general was just because you were the most jaded person to anime here, and I needed you here.
Well, we shall see if that continues to be the case as we go on. So each of these 11 shows, we watched the first 3 episodes minimum of. We're going to talk about them here, and we are going to give them a fuck or kill verdict. Fuck means they go on to the next week. Kill means they are killed, canceled. Each of us gets one fuck or kill vote, and only one can be killed per week. So should there be a tie, we have some special rules that we will get to a little bit later. But guys, let's jump right in with number 11 on our list, Garo the Vanishing Line, which was not on the poll, but so many people asked about, we went ahead and added it to the list as a special number 11 contender.
Yep. So, Garo, The Vanishing Line is a pseudo-sequel to the first 2 Garo series, which was itself an adaptation of the tokusatsu show Garo.
Which is awesome,
Which
by the
is
way.
so cool. It's one of the few, like, adult-oriented tokusatsu show.
It's Kamen Rider for adults.
Yeah, for men. So, let's just start off by saying that I want Sword to hilt me, like, really bad.
Can I just say that Sword is a dope name for a protagonist because I can remember it.
Yes, that is easy to remember, right?
Actually, kind of interestingly enough, doesn't he look exactly like the dude from Orcs Must Die?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, that struck me immediately.
I was getting a Wolverine vibe.
Yeah,
What I liked about this show is that it drops you right in with the main character fighting a titty monster.
I don't know what it is with... I don't know what it is with, like, horror monsters just being covered in tits. Like, I guess it's a subversion of sexuality, but it happens a lot.
Yeah. So this show tells you what it is right away, and you can make an informed decision about whether you give a shit. And that is not something that I can say about a lot of these that start really slow.
Yeah. Gosh, that opening fight scene is really cool, though. You start off with, like, and you don't get to see his face the entire time, which, it's kind of weird. Why? Like, are they trying to keep some anonymity with him? I don't know. But it's just such a cool opening fight scene. And the first 3 episodes set up these 3 very interesting characters who feel it feels very motley, and I love it.
Yes, very much so. Kieran, what were your first impressions of Garo?
One word, kinetic.
Yes.
And I think that's honestly what makes this show is you will know, as Ben said, off the bat if you're going to like it. And I think as the animation is really the driving force for it. It's a little threadbare in what the plot is. It feels like a video game intro to me.
Sure.
And I really like how it's presented. It ends with, has a whole bunch of flashy stuff going on. There's really cool motorcycle scenes. It's really fun, and you will know if it's for you within the first 5 minutes.
I will say I think they need to cut back a little bit on the environmental CG during some scenes, because it's really cool that we're getting these really high octane, very dynamic shots down the streets via the motorcycle.
Yeah.
It's also a little hard to follow.
What I will say is that we've got a lot of shows to get through in our time limit. What we're also going to have is I'm going to go ahead. I don't think we've officially named it. I'm going to go ahead and call it Anime FMK Unsnipped. After we're done here, we're gonna turn off 2 of the cameras and we're going to just talk
Yeah.
for as long as we feel like.
Yeah.
But this is kind of our shorter, like, brief first impressions and then render a verdict. So Kieran, your verdict, and we're each going to go ahead and choose. Let's choose right quick here. So that
All right.
we're holding them in our hand.
Judge is ready.
We have not consulted beforehand. This is a surprise to us. Kieran, your initial, based on the first 3 episodes, verdict. Do you want to fuck or kill Garo?
I want to fuck Garo. I really want to. It's cool. I dig it.
Scott, your first impressions based on a first date.
It's, I don't feel like I'm getting anything new with Garo, but what is there, I feel like is some of the best that I'm getting this season. So I want to fuck Garo. I want to fuck it hard.
Okay. Strong words. So I'm going to tell you guys, I think I would certainly agree with the criticism that the plot is a little threadbare. There is a lot that is left just straight up unexplained, but it gives me enough to go on that I would also like to fuck Garo. That's a tri-fuck.
Yeah,
Triple fuck.
A trifecta.
A trifecta. Garo, you are the first recipient of the Anime FMK trifecta. Now let's talk about a show that I tried to fuckta, and it's called... This is Just Because.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, and you're doing it, why not?
Yeah.
Just because.
Just let's see what this is all about. So this one is on Anime Strike.
Yes.
Garo was on Crunchyroll.
Oh yeah. We should definitely, when we introduce the show, you can watch Garo Vanishing Line on Crunchyroll.
Yeah. So we made sure that each one of these shows is something that can be legally streamed in the U.S. That's not going to be the case everywhere. We couldn't research every country. So if you're not in the U.S. and it's not available to you, hey, sorry, but that's where we are. We got to watch what we can watch. We could watch Just Because on Anime Strike.
Yes, which is Amazon's. It's basically just Prime Video.
Yeah, it's an extra fee on top of your regular Prime Video subscription for a bunch of anime stuff, including this slice of life. I hesitate to say comedy, but I hesitate to say drama either.
It's really just slice of life,
Yeah.
and it is just, hey, here are these people, and this is what they're doing.
Yeah. Actually, it is funnier than I expected it to be, though, if I had to be honest with you.
It's set in a high school. It follows all of these high school kids around and their social circles, a couple of like sort of loosely connected social circles. There's a baseball club. There's a photography club. The closest thing to an ongoing conflict is that the photography club might get disbanded if one of the characters can't come up with a prize-winning photo.
They're also like digging hard into the love triangle.
Yeah, lots of he likes her, but she likes him. But it's in a very low-key way.
Yeah, and I think that was the absolute right move because I wasn't sure what to expect from this show. I didn't even hear about it until, I saw it on the list.
Yeah.
Same.
This is a very sweet show. This is a very slow, but not slow. It's very down to earth. When it comes to slice of life, this is the sliciest.
Yep.
But let me tell you what, it's also really funny in places. Like there's this scene, like in the second episode, where one of the characters makes a mention of, I was hoping to get a feel of her chest. Make a joke about that. And as they're walking by, the chubby kid goes, "Well, you want to fondle my chest?" And
that was a cute line.
There's a stop. There's just this slight pause. Yeah, I might as well. And he just reaches over, puts his hand back down, and they keep walking. And I'm like, okay, you know what? This is a funny, really sweet little show.
Now, Kieran, did you find anything to laugh at or anything to relate to in Just Because?
No. No, I don't think it's funny. I thought it was the only thing I really liked about this show was the music. And I think the music is what carries it along. If you axe the music, I'd be asleep.
Yeah, the music, I won't lie. The music is really good, but I do feel like it carries a lot of the scenes.
I think the music is kind of its own character in a way that it when it's missing from a scene, it's supposed to be it's obviously really like something trying to be important, but the thing is there's little to no weight of any of this, and I have my own stuff I'm doing. I don't care to look into the lives of these people that are doing nothing.
So you're not much into slice of life?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Yep. So I feel like Kieran might have just subtly let us know what his verdict is going to be, but officially, let's go ahead. Let's each.
Before we continue, one more thing.
Okay.
Main character's terrible. I'm sorry. I hate the main character. Everyone else, I like. Main character's bad.
Yeah.
All right. So last time we went from Kieran down to me. Let's go the other direction.
Okay.
This time, let's just and Scott can always be the meat in our sandwich.
Oh, thank you.
So you say the main character was terrible. I don't know who the hell the main character was supposed to be.
Thank you.
They are trying to go for an ensemble and failing. I cannot tell the characters apart. I'm bored. I want to kill this show. Fuck this discount Genshiken nonsense.
Ooh. Dang. Okay, so I guess I'm probably going to be the odd one out here, I'm assuming. But honestly, I really like this show. I wasn't sure I was going to like it after the first episode, but the characters have really grown on me. The music's really good. I'm enjoying it. I just don't like the transfer student, who's definitely the main character. He's like the focus of the opening. So yeah, I'm sorry, but I wanna fuck this show.
Like how sad you are. Like, I don't want to fuck it. It's okay. However, I felt that it was, as Ben said, incredibly boring. They're trying to do an ensemble. I don't know who anybody's name is.
Yep.
I was already kind of tuning out, except for like really cool music, piano twinkly bits. Just I want to kill it. I don't got time for this.
I got you.
All right. So we got a double kill on the board. I should probably be marking these down, although
Yeah.
I think we'll pretty much remember. But
Double kill.
yep. So we got the trifecta for Garo. I mean Gara too, obviously.
Yeah,
I mean,
naturally.
right.
I want to get some sand in my craw.
Except for the haircut after the final time
Oh,
skip.
no,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
It's so bad.
It's a lame cut.
And we've got a double kill for just because, but just because didn't quite make the cut. Let's see how we feel about the next one on the list. Dies Irae. It is
Oh,
Irae?
boy.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is I watched the episode 0. There was some back and forth on do we need to watch the episode 0? Did you guys watch the episode 0?
I did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, I'm so glad I watched episode 0 because, like, if I hadn't, I'd have just. We'll get into it. But yeah, DS Irae is available on Crunchyroll.
Yep.
And who wants to start us off on DS Irae?
How do you like mutant Nazis with some vaguely occult stuff happening?
I liked
No,
it.
they're not Z's.
I liked it better when it was called fucking Helsing.
I got a lot of Helsing vibes, but it was like worse.
Oh,
Hellsing.
way worse.
I tweeted out my thoughts about this show because we get like within the first 5 minutes we get I'm Strunsteifels Eleanor von Wittenberg of the something. I'm like, look, it's 5 minutes into the show. You can't give me a fucking SAT question right off the bat, dude. I'm not gonna remember this. I can't even remember the Japanese names. They're trying to remember German Japanese.
I don't.
No.
I literally don't remember a single name in the show.
I don't
Not
either.
I want to say Nobuaki, but I think that's the guy from King's Game. So
Yes.
no, I can't. I can't remember a single name of any character from the show, and I only truly remember 3 characters.
So the main character's Ren. I can remember that because and Stimpy.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Then there's his would-be girlfriend.
Yep.
And then there's the only character who I care about, who is the super monotone girl.
Yes.
Like those are the 3.
Senpai?
Yeah, Senpai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Got
she's
Senpai.
Yeah. She's still terrible, but she's the least terrible out of the 3.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
And then there's a bunch of Nazis.
And then there's a bunch of Nazis.
Yep.
And how it all plays in,
No, and there's guillotines, and there was
magic guillotines.
magic
a
guillotines.
girl that comes out of a guillotine.
and swastikas. They're apparently swastikas.
Okay.
Apparently.
Yep.
Sure.
There's a priest who seems all goofy and friendly until it turns out he's super creepy.
Because he's a priest
But
in
what
anime.
about the priest that has the F cup boobs? F cup boobs.
I remember you
hear
were
that
talking about
part?
that on Twitter. No woman talks like that. What the fuck? No, like this show wants so desperately to be Hellsing mixed with fucking like some visual novel bullshit.
Yes,
that's
absolutely.
what this is, and it's terrible. It is a bad anime. Like I'm not gonna tip my cards too much, but this may be the worst show this season.
Guys, I think maybe we should just like tip
Yeah,
our cards
you know
right
what,
now.
no, fucking
Are we-
no, kill this
Yeah,
show.
you know what?
Kill
Yeah,
this show.
absolutely.
We got a triple kill.
It's garbage.
We don't have to pretend anymore. Triple kill.
Thank you.
Oh man, if this is the one that goes home this week If
I
this
will
is the
be
only
all
one we
the
get,
better.
I will be fine with that.
So the way the rules work, as we're coming to learn, is that anything that has a triple kill automatically takes precedence over a double kill.
Yes.
So we now know for certain that just because with only a double kill,
It's
Scott,
safe.
Yeah.
Scott has saved it. It will not be cut this week.
Okay.
If we have more than one triple kill, well, we'll get to that if it happens.
Yeah.
But let's see if it happens next with Juuni Taisen Zodiac Wars. So this show follows a group of Chinese zodiac animal-themed
Mercenaries.
Yeah.
who come from, it seems like clans? Did they all come from clans?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all parts of different clans. Although some of them are not born to the clans, as we see with the as we
Yeah,
see with
yeah.
the
Third
rooster.
episode, yeah.
And oh man.
So here's
So
what,
this one's available on Crunchyroll.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this so each episode so far, as of the first 3 episodes, each episode follows a different character.
Yes.
I should mention our spoiler policy here. Nothing that happens in the first 3 episodes counts as a spoiler. Get over it.
Yeah.
That
I
said,
will say that.
That said, we will have time codes down in the description. So if you're a pansy and care, you can skip.
Actually, thank you.
So
I'm
rude.
glad that we're going to have that
Yeah.
because I did want to mention, like, if you don't want to hear spoilers, you can skip any of the ones that
Yep.
we
Yep.
do this week. If you're following week by week, I'm going to assume that maybe you're watching along with us, but
I would hope so.
yeah, but we
Yeah.
will have time codes to skip. So anyway, Juuni Taisen,
Yes.
which I don't know what that translates to. It's like 12 something. Tyson.
Yeah, it's 12 war.
12
Oh.
monkeys.
Just
12
war
monkeys.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
This is an ensemble cast.
Yes.
Like, there is no main character here.
Yep.
And one of the things, like, just off the bat, no one's safe.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy. It's so good to see that. Like, I mean, you can tell who's going to last a while. Like, after the initial 3 episodes, you're like, okay, these characters obviously have something they're building up to.
Yeah.
But, man, is it good in the first couple episodes to see these, like, I'm sorry, I love the show. I'm going to state it right out. This is a beautiful series. This is a masterfully done series. Every single frame, they just go out of their way to make sure that every shot is perfect and the pacing is brilliant.
Now, so Scott's been gushing a little bit. Kieran, how do you feel? How is your inner gush level?
I have my notes is for the first episode is a bunch of question marks that say, what am I supposed to be feeling? I was very I don't like this. I do not. There's only so far my believability of anything can go. This feels like I wrote a story in middle school and now I have a big enough budget to get it to be made.
Yeah, I can respect that.
Like, it seems like some guy was like, oh man, what if, like, oh, the rooster girl, she could do this, and then this guy could do this. That's so cool. Character design is the only thing saving this show. Everything else, I don't give a flying fuck about. Like, I just really don't care. All their backstories seem irrelevant because I know they're all gonna die, and I don't have any attachment to any of them.
Yeah, so I suppose we should say this is like a battle royale
Yeah,
Hunger
they're all
Games
trying to kill
scenario.
Oh
themselves.
yeah. We didn't give the description. Yeah, basic description. They're 12 mercenaries all trying to kill each other, and
in
there's
this
apparently-
deserted city.
And apparently they get a wish at the end if for whoever wins.
Yep. But I feel like we've gotten a pretty good sense of where you guys stand. But let's make it official.
Wait, how do you feel? You haven't given any description. Like, how do you feel about it?
Well, we'll find out. Let's go
okay.
down the line. Let's preserve some suspense here.
Sure,
All right.
I like it. Let me shuffle it a bit.
All right. Kieran, you gonna fuck or kill this show?
I'm gonna fuck it.
Oh.
Because even though I hate it, I'm like, when episode 4 came out, I was like, I would much rather watch this than any other episode of the shit I really hated. I'm playing the game here
Yep.
that if I have to watch something, I would much rather watch this than a few other things later. So
Yeah,
I'm
gotcha.
in. I'll fuck it. I'll see where it goes.
We've got a hate fuck on the board.
Yes.
Scott?
I mean, I think this was obvious. I think it's one of the most beautifully animated shows this season. I am enjoying the character designs and the action's fantastic. I want to see where this goes.
I agree with both of you all the way. I don't hate it, unlike Kieran. I agree with all of your criticisms of it, but what it has going for it is enough for me to give it a strong deep dick fucking. So we've got another tri-fuck on the board.
Wow, I did not expect that. But
Yeah.
okay, cool.
But I think that's partially due to our format here, where there's going to be a certain amount of voting along gamification lines, let's say, because there's definitely some stuff on my list that if I were watching it just for my personal enjoyment, probably would kill it, but I want to make sure that the stuff I really want dead gets dead first.
See, Juuni Taisen is one of those shows that I was trying to switch between shows as I was watching. No, I saw every episode of Juuni Taisen.
Yeah, I watched it all in a row. It's got something about it that I'm cool seeing through to the end.
Yep. And speaking of things we want to see through to the end, each one of us got the opportunity to lock in a show onto the list. Even if it didn't win in the poll, it would still, because one of the three of us wanted to watch it enough.
I think I basically locked Garo.
Yeah,
I think you did, because it wasn't on there, and you're like, hey, I want to watch this. So
is that cool? Yeah, we'll watch it. It's cool. My lock would be, if I had to choose one, Inuyashiki, which is by the same mangaka as Gantz.
Big surprise.
Yeah, go figure. I like something that's a lot like Gantz, and this is
a lot
like
Gantz.
Gantz. It has that same mixture of horror, sexuality, often played for horror, sometimes played for comedy, and just dark absurdity. It is the story of an elderly office worker named Inuyashiki who is
the most precious man I've ever met.
Yes. He is squashed by a UFO, and the aliens, apparently by accident, you're given just a snippet of dialogue of the aliens going, "Oh shit, we squashed."
Not even by accident. Yeah. I mean, he's crushed by accident.
Right.
Yeah.
They restore his body, and apparently the only material that they had were weaponry.
Yes.
To restore his body. Now,
when you say restore his body, that's part of the body horror, though, because it's not. This is not his body. He is a robot man.
Like his face spreads open like a flower,
and it's such a cool effect.
It's awesome.
This show uses a lot of CG, but in a way that's not the worst thing in the world. Sometimes it can get a little rubbery, but I think that uncanny valley effect is it's off-putting in a way that feels intentional.
It works in the favor for the show overall. Like, I definitely felt like when just that scene where you see the CG happen in the room in the first episode, and he looks at himself in the mirror and he's like, oh my. Like, I really got that vibe there, even though the CG looks a little off-putting, but I think that worked to its benefit.
Question, is it better than Gantz's CG?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and but the twist is somebody else got hit by that UFO, and his name is Hiro, and he is the worst high schooler ever.
Yeah, so again, like carrying on from some of the themes of Gantz, young people are monsters.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Every young person is a terrible, scary monster.
Some closet serial killer.
Yeah. Which is why I'm glad that, was it Nobuya, his friend?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Ando, I think.
Yeah, Ando. Ando, I am so glad he balances that out, because there was a part of me that was really worried
that was his moral center for that.
And I'm happy that he was there, because this show needs, like, I'm okay with a healthy dose of nihilism in my anime, but I need it balanced out by something. And I'm like somebody who's human, like purely human, not just the hero.
Yeah.
No, to have other characters there who are regular people saying, don't do these things.
Who's a Gantz fanboy, by the way.
Oh yeah. By the way,
that was slightly off-putting, honestly.
Well, I thought it was hilarious because okay, so the mangaka is like, I'm gonna make the guy who doesn't like my manga the villain.
No, you can clearly see some self-insert, getting back at people stuff going on here.
But I thought it was funny. I thought it was just weird enough to be funny to me. But I can see how that'd be off-putting.
It helps for the realism, because there's a lot of references to real things. Like when I almost cried when he starts flying, singing the Astro Boy theme.
Yes.
I was just like, that's so good.
And that's the thing. That is the thing that separates this from Gantz. Whereas Gantz is mostly nihilism most of the time, with the one character who is the most moral center, Kato, being kind of bland and boring.
Yeah.
In this, the main character, Inuyashiki, is just good.
He's amazing.
He is a good person who you want to see happy. You want to see him succeed.
I did not cry during the Astro Boy scene. I had a lot of emotion.
Yeah.
I cried at the cats.
I know,
I
right?
lost it at the cats. I actually lost it at the cats,
Yes.
dude.
It turns out that he has not only the power to destroy, but also the power to heal, and he uses it on some poor wounded cats. And then after discovering that, goes to the local hospital and just goes from room to room, like healing the paralyzed. And it is...
which is
gives me
contrasted,
goosebumps, man. I love it.
Which is contrasted very heavily with what Hiro does with his powers. And let me tell you, there's no more horrific villain I have seen in the last several years than this guy. Like, it is amazing.
He's such a good person you want to see just destroyed.
Oh yeah, and he's not affably evil.
No.
He's terrible.
So
I have a feeling we're going to be talking a lot more about Inuyashiki.
Yes.
Oh yeah, there's a lot to talk about with that.
Yeah,
but for form's sake, guys, let's just go down the table. I want to fuck this show.
I want to fuck that old man.
that man.
I want to stick my.
All right, cool. So,
All right, so that's the second trifecta. No, the third trifecta that we've had today. We had a hate fuck with the last one. The next one on the list, let's see if we can keep the trifecta going. King's Game, the animation.
this anime is available on Crunchyroll.
It is. It is based on a visual novel.
Wrong.
No.
It is based on a cell phone novel. Do you know what this is? I looked this up.
Oh, please tell me.
So this
is this a hentai?
No, this is a genre of
I'm
fiction.
so surprised.
I know, right? I thought it was going to be from a visual novel. It's not. I looked this up. Just like, what the
Okay.
fuck is happening?
All right.
It is from a phone novel, which is a genre that was very popular with elderly women in Japan and a few other people. They all remain anonymous. They text the story. So every chapter is however long a text is.
Oh, interesting.
So it all is written via phone, and they would send it like via just directly to text to a mailing list to people that like signed up to get the next chapter, or they post it on a blog or a website. But every single chapter or like instance of a story is just a text message. That's why the texts are so like important, is because like those texts were part of the story. So this is actually, that's why I think this has the biggest problem with an adaptation is it feels like all these moments just kind of being strung together really poorly.
Yeah, so this the concept here, which I think is a very interesting premise, it follows a class of high schoolers who start receiving these texts telling them they are in the King's Game, that the king will be giving them orders, and if they do not comply, they will die.
Which, by the way, King's Game is actually their version of Truth or Dare in Japan.
That I did not know.
Yeah.
So the main character has already been through one of these King's Games before, and he was the only one to survive it. And it sort of goes back and forth, which again I think is a cool premise. It has a lot of flashbacks to what happened last time.
Yeah, I thought that was a great dynamic of like paralleling events.
Yeah, that said, the fact that you've got a whole class of high schoolers and then a whole nother class of high schoolers from the flashback meant that they throw a lot of characters at you really quickly, and I had a lot of trouble keeping track of anybody but the main character and his
Best friend.
love interest.
Well,
Natsuko. I remember her name.
So she takes a turn.
yeah.
I
Actually,
kind of expected that, and that was cool.
Yeah,
I didn't expect that, and I liked it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I also liked it a lot. She starts out as very much the throwing herself at the main character for no apparent reason, female lead of a hentai visual novel. And then she takes a turn and turns out to be one of the most Machiavellian, sadistic people in the whole game.
And I actually fully expect that she is that she is a previous winner of another game.
I hope that turns out to be the case. I would love it for them, because that was an interesting turn just because it surprised me, and her as a crazy sadist is way more interesting than her as vanilla.
That being said, so we just said a lot of good things about this show.
Yes.
Why is it not a good show? Why is this a bad show? Why is this such a bad show?
Because, as I said, everything feels like moments that are here, like I should care about this, and that, and these little parts, I'm out. I don't care.
Yeah, like the first two episodes were way more interesting to me. But first of all, they're not doing anything neat with the deaths.
No, they don't. That's what I mean. It's
what's
like,
with all
this
this?
death happens.
What's
and
with
then
all the hanging?
Yeah, everyone gets hanged, and then everyone, I don't know, one girl drowned. made a paper mache. Who knows?
Yeah, dude. Like I liked. Like, oh god, one of the funniest scenes to me was when the girl jumps out the window.
I
and
know.
It's like, and then her punishment was just supposed to be that she had to tell her crush.
Yep.
Like I thought, okay, that's funny.
Yeah, she thought she was going to be ordered to die, and so she hurls herself out the window because, I don't know, better to die than be killed.
Yeah.
And then the text comes in and says, for your punishment.
Yeah, I think my overall summation of this show is if I had to roll my eyes any harder, I think I would just hang myself.
Also, what is up with this hang up with these kids and sex?
Welcome
like
to-
I've never met, maybe it's a Japan thing, but I have never met any human being that's hung up on sex.
I guess.
Well, guys, it feels like we're getting to some natural conclusions. Kieran, do you want to fuck or kill this show?
If I can't go, I want the show to go. I'm killing it. I think there's a lot of neat insofar as I like seeing the premise. How it's executed is really poor. I don't know. I don't like it. You just changed your vote there.
I did.
Okay.
Because I just thought of something.
Sure.
I really don't want to watch Irae again. But if this show has actually entertained me from time to time, while Irae actively makes me hate the world. So I'm actually going to say fuck this show only because I think it actually might get a little more entertaining with the next episode. However, if it doesn't, well, we'll see.
Sounds like it's on pretty thin ice with
Yeah,
Scott.
it is on thin ice.
And I'm going to let you get away with that one, but in the future, no changing your vote after you hear somebody else's. That's not okay.
That's fair.
That's not okay.
That's fair.
You get one.
All right. I'm sorry. I broke the rules there, but I won't do it again.
But you know what? You know why I'm letting you get away with that one? Because this show is getting a fuck anyway.
Oh!
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, there are serious problems with this show, but it's got a good premise, and it has, like you said, it has managed to, not consistently, but at least sometimes entertain me.
Yeah.
So, sometimes on that first date, you fuck somebody, and it's okay, but maybe it'll get better. You don't know. So we're going to give this one the benefit of the doubt. That's a double fuck.
Double fuck.
For King's Game.
Guess I'll be dead next week.
Well, before you die next week, we have what you said would be your lock.
Yes.
Should it not win the poll, it did anyway.
Yeah.
We have Kino's Journey.
Oh, wow. This was your luck.
Uh-huh.
That's interesting.
Because I absolutely loved, I never finished it, but I loved the episodes I saw of the first series. And it should be noted that we were like, oh, no sequels. This isn't a sequel. It's kind of like a greatest hits of what was in the anime, the original anime version, and from the light novels. So some stuff that wasn't animated before now gets it, and stuff that was in the last series is now just presented differently. And oh God.
By the way, this can be viewed on Crunchyroll.
Yes.
And interestingly enough, the stories that are being told were voted on.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. They had like I think it was wasn't some popularity poll put together? Something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. So this is a very episodic show. It follows usually our main character, Kino, young boy. Androgynous character onto whom you are supposed to project yourself as he drives around from country to country on his talking motorcycle Hermes. And it reminds me a lot of Gulliver's Travels.
Yeah, when you brought that up
yeah.
when we talked about it, like, yes,
Yeah.
that is a very apt description.
That is, like I couldn't place it until now, but yes, it's Gulliver's Travels. So hey,
Yeah, or certain episodes of Star Trek TOS, Planet of Hats. Let's go to the Nazi planet. Now let's go to the Wild West planet. Now let's go to the country where anybody is allowed to kill each other for any reason at any time.
At all. That's what I really enjoy about this show is, as you said, it's most akin to Gulliver's Travels, where the setting is kind of the character.
Yes.
It's just you are along. It is Kino's journey through all these crazy, fantastical places, and you spend one episode in this location. You see let's take this one idea. Everyone can kill whoever. What does that look like? Let's explore the philosophy. Let's explore like the economy. Like they just explore like everything about this that could have its whole series if they wanted to, but they just condense it, and it's just a perfect little bites of really interesting and fantastical settings. That's what I really enjoy about it.
Yeah, now that's what's good about the show, and I will agree with all that wholeheartedly. Here's what I don't like about it. Kino is a blank. He does not he does not emote. I don't give a shit about him. Because like the strength of the show is also its weakness. Because these countries are so fantastical, it's more like a parable than anything else. The characters aren't characters, they're abstractions to explore these ideas, which makes it really hard for me to connect emotionally with anything.
And I think that something the series is dropping the ball on incredibly hard, and I don't know if this is a problem with the show or the light novels they're based off of, but quite frankly, I have there's no through line on the moral, on like with the purpose, the themes. Like, I don't know what the purpose of the like, okay, so the no kill town, very interesting, but they don't really go into that. But the most interesting thing is if anybody's allowed to kill each other, but we'll be like, it's a really interesting episode. But the second episode, what was the purpose of any of this? What was the purpose? Especially with the thing that Kino does at the end.
Yep.
Like,
that sounds like we're starting to get into nitty-gritty plot details, and this is a show that I'm sure we will talk a lot more about in our unsnipped segment. But for right now, let's see. I guess it's my turn to start us off. I'm going to, despite my criticisms, actually, let me go ahead and, not that I didn't just tip my hand totally there, but yep, everybody, all right. This show does still have a lot going for it. I'm going to go ahead and fuck this show.
Even though it has a talking motorcycle and a talking smiling Sammy, I'm not into it. It's boring me, and I want to kill it.
I don't know who I'm on the table with here. I think I'm in another dimension because I want to fuck this brains out. I will want to take that motorcycle, and I'll let you fill in the blanks. I'll fill in the blanks, actually.
I like the amount of differentiation in opinion and perspective that we've got going on.
Oh, I can't wait for later.
Yep. And here's the thing. One of the reasons why I want to fuck this show is not really because I'm getting a whole lot of enjoyment out of it, but because I'm going to enjoy getting all the way into it when we talk about it in depth later on.
That's the thing, is it's just a can of worms that you can talk about. That's what I like about it.
Yep. Speaking of cans of worms, MMOs, that's a can of worms to open. We've got, next on the list, Recovery of an MMO Junkie.
Available on Crunchyroll.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
This is the story. So the recovery part has so far not been forthcoming at all.
No, I think this is the relapse part.
Maybe that comes by the end. I don't know. But this is the story of a woman in her 30s, former office worker. They don't go into that a whole lot, but they give you just enough hints of who she used to be, who has quit her job and decided to become what she calls an elite NEET. NEET is N-E-E-T, not in education. What's the other one?
Like some expertism or like training?
Not in employment, education, or training.
That's what it is.
Basically a nicer way of saying unemployed and with no prospects.
Yeah.
She has decided to spend all day, every day playing MMOs.
And I'm not sure how.
Yeah.
That's the big thing.
Yeah.
How is this happening?
And I think somebody died and left her money. Mostly because, and I really don't know, but they just, at the very beginning, she puts that flower in the trash can, and there's obviously something that she's running from. And it's so interesting. When I saw this show up on the list, I ducked my head down thinking, oh my God, no, I can't deal with another one of these shows about people who play video games or stuck in video games. I hate these sorts of shows. I like this show a lot. And I was not expecting to.
Yeah, I will say that the first couple of episodes were kind of rough because I didn't know what to expect, and I have a mind that's bad for this sort of thing because I couldn't stop asking myself, what are the mechanics of this MMO? Why are they just kind of walking and talking? Why are they sitting on this tree and looking off into the distance? Shouldn't they be killing monsters and gaining XP? What the fuck even is this game?
So I want to talk a bit about that because I think the best part about this is incredibly relatable if you've had an experience like this.
Yup.
I played to death Ragnarok Online.
Yup.
And that's like... That I had that where it was just nights of I didn't have AIM or MSN or anything. My way to talk to people was in video games. So I had that experience and I know what that's like to just go. We played a game together. Now we're at downtime. Let's just talk. Let's get to know each other. We're the people behind the screen. I have infinite free time. Let's go.
Yep.
And it's only if you've had that experience, I think, insofar as what makes this good or relatable. If you haven't, I think it's really really freaking bland.
See, I don't think I've had as much relatability as you have, but for me, I get everything that's happening. I understand it. And beyond that, I like the story. I really like the characters. I'm happy. Like, they're not breakout. They're not amazing. But I like every character for different reasons. And I'm enjoying myself. I think it's really a really cute show, and I want to know where it's going. I'm actually so excited for the next episode that when I got done with it, I was like, oh, cool. I have to figure out what's going to happen.
So let's find out if we'll see the next episode. Kieran, you gonna fuck this show?
Pick your card.
I did.
Okay, got it. I'm gonna fuck it. I'm gonna fuck it online. We're gonna go into that dungeon and we're gonna have a good time. And I think the side characters are a tad bland, but I think the through line romance is really cool. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah. I'm so curious how like the romance angle of this is gonna pan out. And oh man, I'm sorry. I thought I was gonna hate the show, and then I ended up really liking this show. So I guess I'm just elated by that fact all alone.
It's fun.
I think I am less enamored with this show than the two of you are, but I am also gonna fuck this show. I think it's got its problems. Sometimes I think that the only reason I enjoy it as much as I do is because they do such a wonderful job of showing the quiet desperation on the main character's face.
Oh yeah, yes.
It makes me feel for her real hard.
She's an amazing main character, actually.
Yeah, I like her a lot. I think there's a lot of relatability to it.
So a trifecta.
Yep, we will. We'll get more into those nitty-gritty details a little later, but we do have another trifecta.
Those needy-greedy.
Those Infini-T Forces.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Next on the list, Infini-T Force.
So speaking of the opposite of an amazing main character who's a woman.
Yes. Okay. So this is Tatsunoko versus Kingdom Hearts.
Yes.
This is
man, after watching more episodes of that, I was like, I'd only seen the first one when you made that joke to me. Mm-hmm. I watched the rest, and yes, that's what this is. It's Tatsunoko versus Kingdom Hearts.
Yep. So it's a bunch of Tatsunoko characters who have their universes have actually all of their universes have been destroyed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they are the sole survivors. They're hopping slider style from dimension to dimension.
And I think they've been dumped in the real world.
That's the impression I got.
Yeah, or at least a real world.
Well, yeah. Like, if we're going by the idea of, like, no, all of these are their own universes, like Recreator, which, by the way, good show from last season if you haven't caught it. By the way, Infini-T Force is available on Tubi?
Just Viz's website.
Yeah, go to Viz's website.
Yeah, actually go to either Viz's website, or if you're on a device, a Roku box, an Xbox One, a PS4, the Tubi app is where you can see all of Viz's stuff.
Tubi.
Tubi. They do a really bad job of advertising that, but I did some digging and I was able to find it out.
Yeah. So if anybody's not familiar with the Tatsunoko universe, they just did a lot of superhero shows.
Huge early anime pioneers.
Yes, big time. There was
Gatchaman is the one that
Gatchaman. I think the biggest one, Speed Racer. Everyone's gonna know Speed Racer.
Yeah. He's not in here.
Yeah, he didn't show up there.
Not yet. We're still only 3 episodes in.
Yeah, I'm waiting for him to show up.
But there's Kashurn, which most people know besides Gatchaman.
Yeah.
There's Hurricane Polymer.
Tekkaman.
That's not Tekkaman. I think he says Tekka, but I don't know.
That's Tekkaman.
Is that Tekkaman?
That's Tekkaman. The other one you're thinking of is Tekkaman Blade.
Okay, cool. Okay, then there's Tekkaman, and is there another one? There's just 5 of them, isn't there? Or is there only 4?
I am blanking now.
This should probably tell you something about the memorability or lack thereof of this show.
It is the coolest intro cutscene to Tatsunoko Muso that we'll never get.
Yes. Yep. So apparently there's a guy who's got a device that destroys worlds and grants wishes, and now it's a pencil.
Yep. This guy hangs out with some other vaguely villainy type characters in some, I don't know, pocket dimension or something.
Hangs out with a loli, a Final Fantasy summon, and
Final Fantasy summon, best character.
And David Bowie.
Final Fantasy summon, definitely best character.
Yep.
And a weird Frenchman.
Yep.
David Bowie.
David Bowie, yes.
Yep.
Dammy Bowie.
Bowie.
They talk about vague anime philosophical bullshit and how they want to somehow merge or keep destroying worlds and taking the best parts of each of them until they can arrive at one ideal reality.
And I'm sorry, but any ideal reality could not involve that main character.
Yep, she is the worst. She's sort of their April O'Neil.
Yeah.
She's the normal.
If you merged April O'Neil with Hitomi from the Escaflowne film and then put her on Valium.
Yeah, so this device, which is capable of destroying and rewriting realities, falls into her hands, takes the form of a magical pencil, which one of the main characters, one of the Tatsunoko boys, quite reasonably says, "Oh, give me that. I can bring my reality back." And she says, "No."
Yeah, no, oh my God, okay.
Don't wanna.
Yeah.
Look, we'll get into the nitty gritty, but if I had to point out the worst detail of this entire thing, besides just the main character, it's that they have this device that rewrites reality, and they don't use it.
Yep, because she's the worst. She's a literal monster, and nobody calls her on it. Guys, let's dispense with the formalities. What are we doing with this show? Kieran.
Actually, I know what I want. Kieran?
I'm gonna kill it because it's boring. That's the biggest problem with it is there's no gameplay to go with my cutscene.
Scott?
I want to fuck it only because, like, I don't know. It's not. This isn't a moment of like I want Irae to die, but I just don't feel like this is like the worst thing, and it's also still got things that I've actively enjoyed. I just can't take the main character, and so I'll give it another week.
I guess we're giving it another week. I hate this show. It's boring, and I hate it. I don't like Kingdom Hearts, but I know who Donald and Pluto and Goofy are, so I've got something to glom onto.
Yeah, if you
yeah.
don't have that, then
Yeah, this is the worst parts of Kingdom Hearts without any of the things that make it bearable.
Yeah.
But I guess Scott wants to fuck it. That's a 2-kill for now.
I'm being tactical with my fucks, okay? Tactical fucking.
Some men just want to see the world burn.
I'm just killing everything that needs to die.
Well,
That's fair. That's
let's
fair.
find out, based on your delicious Irish hat and headband, whether Black Clover...
Is it time?
It is time to talk about
man.
Black Clover.
Oh my God.
We do not have enough time here to go into everything.
Guys, Black Clover is what happens when you take a bunch of old Naruto and One Piece scripts, put them in a shredder so that you've got little strips of one line of dialogue apiece,
And you just
jumble those up and rearrange them, and then do a Control F and find and replace all instances of ninja or pirate with wizard.
Yeah. This is the most factory shit made by aliens, approved by committee feeling bullshit. This is like the most what sells toys, what sells issues. We need X, Y, and Z, and we're going to have all that. There we go. It is so generic.
Somebody took Naruto and Fairy Tail and, just made them fuck. They didn't want to. They didn't want to do this.
Nope, aliens made them do it.
Yeah, aliens made them do it. Now we have to watch the Chimera.
Like, look, I actually went out of my way to read some of the manga because I had to figure out what the hell was going on. Manga's a lot better. It's not good, but it is a lot better.
I could see it being a little more coherent.
More coherent. There's not a ton of flashbacks, and
I got the vibe that was anime only.
Yeah, a lot of the flashbacks are anime only.
That makes sense.
Very slowly paced. That's the other problem.
And here's the thing. I know why they did it. If you read the manga, it is incredibly fast-paced. Like, the stuff that happens in episode 4 happens in chapter 2.
That is an impression that I got.
I got that too. I was like, because they're just exposition booking it. We got to pad something out.
And I understand why they did it. I think they, one, did a little bit too much. And two, whoever the voice director is a fucking idiot. I'm sorry. He is a moron if he thought that this character needed to sound like this and act like this. Because
so this character, by the way, main character,
Asta.
I'm sorry, Asta. Discount
Asta.
Naruto.
Yeah.
He hangs out with his childhood friendy buddy. They're foundlings. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
nice gay, as I like to call him.
His his rival.
Raibaru. See, actually, the funny thing is, I like that character well enough. Like,
he's fine. I actually like him the most of everyone.
Actually, most
I also like that talking block of wood.
Out of everyone, yes, give me the block of wood
give-
over the fucking nails on a skyscraper.
Or the awful nun
Right.
character. Like, by the way, stop with the sexual harassment. Like the joke isn't
Marry
funny.
me.
The
Marry me.
Yeah, I'm
Sister
sorry.
Lily.
Marry me.
That is the worst. That
No,
is the
good
worst.
on him for going after a woman of the cloth. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you know what? At least he's trying to be like. No, I'm sorry. There's nothing good I can say about Asta in this anime. In the manga, he's more tolerable, and I bet you in the dub he'll be more tolerable. But in the Japanese version, as it is right now, he is awful. The story is boring. It is contrived. The animation is really good in some parts and really dumb in other parts. The music is forgettable.
It's just there.
The characters are completely whatever. The world, like, by the way, if I hear magic is the most important thing in this world from another character one more goddamn time, because no human being talks like that, I might kill myself.
Well, we've been beating this horse long enough. Let's see if we can kill it. Kieran, how you feel about this show?
Don't you dare.
Just fucking kill it.
Yeah, kill this.
Please, I can't take any more of the.
Hey, Scott.
Yeah.
Revenge, motherfucker!
Yes,
you
I was ready to pull it.
I'm gonna hate fuck this show because
Thank
this
you.
show is so bad it's come back around. I need to see where this bullshit is going, and there is so much stuff that I will kill before this show.
I'm all right with that. Irish Naruto, let's go.
So I fucked the boring one. You fucked the irritating one.
Yep.
Oh,
But it's
man.
okay, Scott, because we're all gonna kill DS Irae.
Yeah. You know what? If anything had to go, I'm happy it's that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But let's talk about something else that might stay or might go. Last one on the list.
Oh yeah,
So we've
the
been
number
going,
one voted.
Yeah, we've been going in reverse order of how popular they were on the poll, with the exception of Garo, since it wasn't on the poll. We started with that.
By the way, Black Clover's available on Crunchyroll. I don't know if you said that.
I'm not sure if we did, but yes, it is. What is also available on Crunchyroll, Ancient Magus Bride.
Yes,
Is it Magus or Magus?
it's Magus.
Okay.
I mean, because it's Magus for Japanese, but I think it's Magus.
Okay. I mean, it's Damian, so it must be. It could be Magus. Anyway.
This is the story of. Interesting that you put Damian in there. It is the story of a Dom and his sub.
Yes, thank
Yeah,
you.
it
This is the
is.
kinkiest anime all season.
Dude,
Yeah.
it made me uncomfortable.
Yes, she
It is uncomfortably kinky.
Yeah,
to
it is,
me.
and I appreciated. So there's also a prequel series of sorts.
Yeah, you watched that. That's
Yeah,
right.
I think I'm the only one here who watched that. It is
Yeah.
the first. If you just pull it up on Crunchyroll, it's like the first 3 episodes. It's called Part 1, Part 2, Part 3.
I
It's
need to watch those.
It's a prequel of sorts. I will say it's fine if you want to watch them. Don't start with them because the pacing is very slow and it does a poor job of introducing the world. It might be a lot more interesting if you go back already knowing what's to come, but it's a bad introduction.
Okay.
That said, the show proper starts with the main character, Chise, selling herself into... There is no attempt to gussy this up or romanticize it. It is chattel slavery. They don't...
Yeah.
Yeah, like she's got a chain around her neck. She is wearing this white robe that hangs there like there's nothing on under it because there probably isn't. And she is purchased by the titular ancient magus
Yeah.
named Elias, who I keep wanting to call Elias, but they do pronounce it Elias in the show, who is this about 7 foot tall skelly man, or at least he's got a like bull's head skeleton.
Yeah.
It's a really cool design.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it
a
looks-
very
it looks
cool
really neat.
design. It's a very pretty show.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I think in all of my episode notes, I was like, these backgrounds are incredible.
Yeah. The backgrounds are incredible. The character designs are terrific.
Yeah.
I remember the first piece of production art that I saw, which is just him holding under her chin. I was like, I want to watch that show. I want to watch it right now.
But this show reminded me of nothing so much as a Maggie Gyllenhaal movie called Secretary. Have you guys seen this?
Oh.
No, I haven't.
Okay.
It is the story of a young woman who cuts herself. She's depressed. She goes to secretarial school, winds up as a secretary for a man who turns out is a dominant, who begins punishing her for things like typos, like corporal punishment.
Yeah.
And it starts out as, like you say, off-putting, like this is an abusive relationship.
Yeah.
But she flourishes under this. She comes into herself. She finds out this is what she needs. And as the story continues, it turns into a romance of sorts. And you learn a little more of where he's coming from and what he's getting out of this. And, well, this isn't about that, but this is what it reminded me of.
Everything you're saying is easily translatable.
Dude, I was going to call this show 50 Shades of Mage. To be completely honest with you, I'm so happy that I'm not the only one who picked up on that, because as I was watching, it didn't make me uncomfortable necessarily, because like I'm a very open person. So when I saw this, I thought it was very curious and interesting, and I have to wonder if this is what the person who wrote this was going for.
I think it's impossible to miss. I
Yeah.
absolutely think that's what it is.
But it's not. It didn't make me feel dirty, because
I felt dirty.
well, he's not like. While there is some forced elements to it, there's a lot of like, I don't know. There's some coercion. You can't get around it, because like she was sold into this voluntarily as well.
Which it never says who got the money for her sale.
Actually, yeah, that is a kind of interesting thing.
Yeah.
But by and large, I actually really found that interesting, and there's a lot of moral questions about that I don't want to get into.
Yeah, we can get into that in
but
Unsnipped.
the story itself is fascinating. The world it's building is really interesting. Its fantasy elements are very well done as of now. And I'm very curious, because as it is for me, I don't know how I feel about this show, because I really like it, but I'm also just so curious.
Yep. Gentlemen, I think it's time to render our final verdicts for the night.
All right.
Guys, I think a lot is going to ride on, in final judgment of this show, is going to depend on where it arrives at. I would like to see Chisei have more agency.
Yes.
I would like to see this as an actual examination of a romantic relationship with a severe power imbalance. What I don't want it to be is romanticizing abuse.
Yes, precisely.
Yeah.
And I can't tell which it is yet, but I want to find out. I'm gonna fuck this show.
Yeah, I from the moment I saw the production art, I really wanted to see like this show, and I am not disappointed. I am similarly concerned and curious. So yeah, I'm gonna fuck this show.
Episodes 1 and 2 were almost unsalvageable for me. Episode 3 is the only thing that kept me interested, because it almost made me cry. There's one moment at the very end of episode 3. If you guys are curious about it, I'd say wait till then. If it goes in that bit more of that fantastical direction, that's what I want. I hope it does not go down the path that you're wary of. So I'll see where it goes. I want to fuck it too.
Ancient Magus Bride gets the trifecta.
And she agreed to it.
I mean, she consented, but there's some weird power dynamics.
There's that line of like, well, it's like, it's your decision. Well, I don't really get a choice, do I? Well, no.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, not really.
It's consent, but is it informed consent? Ask your local dom to tell you if you're interested in more. Check your local library, and we will check our local library next time on Anime FMK.
Because they've got free Wi-Fi, and we can be there.
Yep. So, guys, at a little housekeeping as we wrap things up. So we've got, let's see, DS Irae got a tri-kill. Was that the only tri-kill?
That was the only tri-kill.
So.
That was the only tri-kill. So, guys, DS Irae, cut, done.
Good.
Yes.
We are
riddance.
free.
Good.
I don't have to watch another episode of that?
Nope.
Man, it's my birthday.
Doodly-doo. And we'll see what we doodly-do with our list of now 10 shows next week. Will be another episode in, and we'll have a better idea of whether we want to fuck, kill, or at the end of the season, we'll each be deciding which show we want to marry. But stick around. Tomorrow we'll be posting. We're going to stick around. We're going to record our unsnipped thoughts. No time limits. Just talking for as long as we feel like. We'll be back.
Hey everybody, it's Scott here with a huge thank you for our patrons. Literally, we couldn't do this without you. You're amazing, we love you. This kind of content is what your support is all about. Also, if you're curious about our more in-depth analysis of this week's offerings, check out FMK Unsnipped. You can put it on in the background while you clean your house or watch pornography. Later!